Welcome to the Mighty CROWN official YouTube channel. Yes, this is your sami-t, the interview series. This is going to be the volume 4. Yeah, today we have, I do like the veteran artists and the new artists. Today I'm going new. So people, it's going to be my first female artist interview on this interview series. So today we welcome Naomi Cowan. Welcome.
Wagwan. Arigato. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
That's it. Thanks for taking the interview. Well, today I will basically like to ask a couple questions, and so the massive can get to know you. You're fairly new to the game, right?
Yeah, man.
I mean, you've been in the music industry since you're a kid and stuff. I know that, but we're gonna ask you those questions. So,
all right.
I'm gonna start off by asking you, when did you start your career as Naomi Cowan?
Yeah, so when I really started my music career, I would have said right now it's coming on 3 years ago when I really started it. Okay. Meaning, I decided to be a full-time musician or artist and give everything to music, not a side thing and a little every so often, but 100% was about 3 years ago. So my career, quite short.
Okay, so you have lovers rock song, dancehall song, reggae and danza, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you consider yourself as more like a reggae artist or a dancehall artist?
I mean, I consider myself a Jamaican artist, a Caribbean artist, but I definitely just said Jamaican because one thing that is special about being from Jamaica, being a Jamaican, is just how diverse we are as a people. Mm-hmm. Definitely though, I will say that I am, and I was raised under reggae. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's reggae make me. If it wasn't for reggae music, I tell you, I wouldn't be sitting here in front of you.
Yeah.
You understand? Like I wouldn't have, my parents would never meet each other and make me. So reggae is my foundation, but I just consider myself a Jamaican artist.
Okay, so do you have like more of a dancehall songs in your upcoming project, or reggae, or both?
Well, my upcoming the upcoming music I'm working on, and that I have been working on since the start of this year, and then when the year kind of feel like it stopped, it's like the year it start, right? And then it stop, and you have to start a different kind of a year.
Yeah.
There is dancehall in this project. There's definitely reggae. I have to have my reggae in the project, but there's also like some dope, like almost like hip hop influenced stuff as well, which I'm really looking forward to. So I know for me, the way I see the music that we have coming out of Jamaica, it's important for me to express it in the way that it connects with me as an artist. In other words, it don't make any sense for me to repeat what somebody else is doing.
Sure.
Just because it's trending. I may as well do it in a way that represents me. So in other words, somebody might say, oh, well, this dancehall song is nice, you should make a song like this. But the truth is, the reason why that song is a hit or that song running the streets is because of how that person delivering it, whoever the artist is, not because I need to do it over. You know what I mean? So for me, I might have something that has a dancehall flair, but it not going to sound like anybody else.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That is what is most important, because I think that when people listen to your music and listen to you as an artist, and even you as a selector and Mighty CROWN or whatever, they're really here for you. Obviously the music for sure, but it's what you do that makes it special. And so I always try to stay true to the fact that how I am delivering something is most important than even what genre it is.
So you're focusing more on like the originality.
Yeah, and the expression, because I mean, people that, when I really listen to any people that you really admire musically, and not even just in music, but people that you just rate and you say, boy, I really love this actor, or I really love this painter, or any artist and leader as well. One of those people that have really, had very long-term careers and made an impact on our world are the people that stayed so true to who they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's take a Andre 3000 or Lauryn Hill, or there's some of these artists that are just iconic because of their creativity, but also because of I think they themselves had to really fight to do what was unique to them, original to them. And that's why certain songs just don't get out of your head, So that's where I'm at right now, and I'm very grateful that I can be at that place in a time where so much is happening and so much is being thrown at me and thrown at female artists and just women in general, like things that people say that you need to be and how you should be and whatever. But I realize best thing I can do for myself is just be myself.
True. Being the daughter of Naomi Cowan, you've been probably surrounded by so much giants since you were a child. Right? How was it like how was like your childhood, like growing up with all these big names around you?
Yeah. To be honest, when I was a child, I didn't really know any different. I didn't know that, Ken Booth was this big legend, or Maxi Priest, or Junior Tucker, or Red Rat, and I knew everybody they were artists. I knew Dennis Brown was Dennis Brown, but I didn't know the magnitude. John Holtz, rest in peace. Freddie, I didn't really, you know what I'm saying? I just knew them as people. I knew that my parents were artists. I knew that they were well known, especially because going to school, everybody call you by your parents' name and whatever. But I never walked into a room, and if I saw them as a giant. I just saw them as, oh, this is a singer, that is a singer.
More like your father's brethren kind of vibe.
Right, yeah. Exactly. That is exactly what, so for example, Junior Tucker is my godfather.
Okay.
Right? I never see it like, wow, I just say, oh yeah, it's my father brethren. And then it is really only when you kind of get bigger and you realize, hold on a second, these people really shape what we know to be reggae music today, and it's like backside. Like I even have a picture, I found a picture with Barrington Levy, like a physical picture that I must like super tiny little kid, and my parents must have been on tour or something, must be Sunsplash or whatever, and I stand there with Barrington Levy and I said, that's Barrington Levy, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just coming along for the ride. So and I give thanks that I don't think I understood the magnitude of all of these people, because then if I think maybe if I saw it that way, I wouldn't have been able to even absorb the music the way that I have.
I see.
You'd have been so caught up in all of the fluff of everything.
Okay. Your mom is an artist too, right?
Her name is Carlene Davis.
Dial My Number. That's one of the first records I ever bought. Big song.
Dude, no, yeah.
Yeah, man. So, how did you learn to sing? From your mother or your father?
Definitely from my mother. My father, not really sing too good still, but him no music. But I don't. First of all, I think because I grew up around music, meaning, I always say this to people who feel that them can't sing. Enough times people say, oh, I don't know how to sing, I need to learn how to sing and stuff. And I always say, music is really like your mind connecting with your vocal cords, and you hearing something in your head and it coming out the right way through your mouth. That's my opinion. I've never really been formally trained in singing, but because I grew up around music, instruments, you learn pitch and you learn keys and you learn what sound good and what sound bad. So even I think even for example, me being able to harmonize, nobody ever really sat me down and said, oh, this is alto, this is soprano. Definitely you learn 1-2 things from going to church and you singing in choirs and whatever, but most of it I learned by listening.
Okay.
Because naturally being in the studio, falling asleep in the studio, your parents working late, and they always tried to take us everywhere they could instead of just leaving us at the house. And so I know the smell of a studio well, because it's like I used to sleep on the carpet and whatever. And so a lot of those things I learned by listening and repeating it. But then now, of course, my mom, as she's, when I was young, as a child, and she heard me singing and I singing on my own, she would try and help me, shaping up and sharpen up my little skills and stuff. And even today, she still helps me. Even today, she will say, say if you take a breath right here, or if you change the notes here, because she also went through a lot of the same things I did, because our voices are similar.
Yeah.
And then another thing that really had taught me a lot about singing is choir. Church, just going on the church stage and that stuff, because every week you get a chance to perform, without not as much pressure, and I sharpened a lot of skills doing that too.
A lot of people from Jamaica, like, I realized that you guys go to church a lot, right? Like in the young age.
Yeah, because our country is, I guess, traditionally a Christian nation because of being colonized by the British. So the church culture is very normal. I mean, even when I think about like I went to a school called Hydel Prep, right, in St. Catherine, and every morning we had singing and clapping and the Bible, and that was normal. In the States, unless a school was a religious school, you couldn't just go to a school and they're doing that first thing in the morning, every morning. So yeah, it is a big part of Jamaican culture, and as Rastafarianism stems a lot from Ethiopian Orthodox Christian belief, right? So that's why I do know for a fact a lot of big singers get them experience in church. A lot of the big singers we have here, if you ask them.
Yeah, you guys get that training since you guys are from little child.
Yeah, it's just normal. It's like you want to sing in church and you want to sound good, so you go home and you practice the songs and come back.
Okay. Wow. Do you play instruments?
Yes, I do. Play the guitar. I just looking at my pianos right there. I play the guitar and the piano.
Oh man.
Yeah, Munse me a big gitsy or nothing like that, you know what I mean? But I use it to help me write, and actually it was one of the instruments I picked up and taught myself to play just so I could write songs on the go, right? So yeah, play those two instruments.
I see. So we were talking about like writing. You were saying about writing songs. You had like a writing session.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have like a team to write your songs?
Well, right now I'm kind of forming that team. Meaning, before I was just writing by myself or if somebody else is in the room. But recently, I've been definitely reaching out to specific people, other artists as well, producers, and say, hey, let's write together, because I think the best work comes out of collaboration. And so, yeah, I was just with my brethren Runkus, who is an artist, a young artist out here. I have a song I'm working on, and I really love his ear. I just said, come link up at the studio, listen through and see what kind of vibe can, but right now I'm actually in the process of forming that team. There's different people that now I'm really working with on a regular basis. And I'm once again, just very grateful when you can find people that you really click with. Someone else I've been working with, is actually one of Beres Hammound's children. Her name is Wiz. Bad producer, bad writer, so we've been doing a lot of songs and writing on top of some wicked rhythms and stuff like that over the last couple of months. So yeah, I'm forming a bit of a writing team, but once again, goes back to the same topic of, might have people writing with you, but originality is important. And of course, like it being true to what's happening here in this world. You know what I mean? Like if somebody might write a song and give me, but I always go to twist it to sound more like how I would have said it. You understand?
I see.
Yeah.
So now, like a lot of people, like a lot of female artists in Jamaica is like blowing up, like popping out right now in the scene right now. Like, and you're definitely one of them. Lila, Savannah, Jazzelise, who I've seen you guys all perform in one. You guys are like probably like real good friends and rivals. Do you guys? And then like I mean, as an artist, right? Yeah. Is there like any like collaboration or coming up within those four?
No, so far. I mean, we all support each other. That's the one thing I would say. I know that maybe from an outsider's perspective, they might see it as some I mean, not that they see it as a rivalry, but they might compare.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't feel that vibe in the group. If you want to call it a group, we're not a group, but a group of friends. I don't feel that vibe because everybody's so focused on what they're doing. Everybody's so focused on the music they're working on, the projects they're working on, the things that they need to do to step up in their own game. We don't have any collabs. Like, I don't have any collabs with any of the girls just yet. But I think it's also important that we establish what we're doing, so that when we do collab, it's like big, So
I guess you're just waiting on the time then.
It's timing. It's a matter of timing still for me.
Yeah.
But not that it will never happen. But I know timing is everything.
Yeah. I see like everybody working on the projects and stuff like that. So are you working like on an album or?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say too much yet, but I'm working on like multiple projects at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you signed to any label or?
No.
Do you still have like a form of team though? Like,
yeah, I do have a small team. Not signed at the moment. And not that I'm not looking to be signed, but we're just kind of focusing on building what we're doing before we look at something like that. But I do have a very small team. Obviously, I have a manager. I have someone that assists sometimes with the public relations every so often. And then, as I said, we're kind of building out the musical team, like the producers we want to work with, the writers and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what it is for now. Just building the team with the right people as the timing lines up.
What do you love and what do you dislike about this music industry?
Wow.
What do you love first?
The parts about music I love the most, honestly, for me, is performing. I love it. I enjoy it so much. I don't really get nervous. Tell you that. I don't get nervous. Only time I get a little bit antsy is if like things are not put together in a certain way. Whether it's my outfit or timing or those, if some of the logistical things getting funny, I do get a little bit anxious. But when it comes to once the minute I'm about to hit the stage, like the last performance I had in Jamaica at least was in February. It was an event called the Rum Festival, and craziest thing happened. So basically I get there, getting settled in my tent or whatever, I just chill. And I think they told me I was going on, let's say them say, oh, you're going on after Mighty Crown. I don't remember who it was, but them said, oh, you're going on after Mighty Crown. And then, so I'm just backstage, don't even put on my shoes, And I hear my name called. And some lady come to the tent and she was like, yo, you're on the stage now. And I was like, what? I didn't know that. And remember now, you know this, that it's really, and I don't mean to diss up the people in festival, but I'm just sharing a story. But normally it's industry practice that in your tent or anywhere you have the running order.
Yeah.
Know that. Or even the day of the event, you really should get a running order. And that you get the final one or whatever. Never get no running order. So this lady's like, you're on now. And I'm like, and I, didn't know what to do. I'm like, should I just not go on? But them call my name. I hear people, supporting, and the band start already playing my set.
Oh, wow.
So which means the band went on. I didn't even know my band went on. And I just put on the shoes, laced it up, and ran, I ran to the stage and just had to start. But the minute I had to start, dropped everything.
Okay.
At the side of the stage. So I do love that part of the industry, but I really love most of what this industry offers. I think what I don't love about it so far, and even maybe what I didn't like about it growing up, is that it is so unpredictable to the point where it makes me sad that not everyone with talent is going to be able to have a career in this industry, if that makes sense.
Yes.
You know, other professions can become a lawyer. You know, once you study hard, whatever, put in the hours, get your qualifications. For the most part, you might be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Some people not happy, but them gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Have a roof over them head, them have food on the table, whatever. So the one thing with music is that there's nothing is promised.
Yep.
Industry. And it makes me sad because it is a craft that makes so many people come alive. It makes the artists come alive, DJs come alive, audience comes alive because of music. It is, to me, like one of the most valuable things in our experience as a human being on this earth. Yet we have thousands of talented people out there that either A, tried and it just never happened for them, or B, just never tried at all. You know, so I think maybe that's what I don't like the most about it. We haven't figured out how everybody can monetize it. And maybe if everybody figured out how to monetize it, then there would be no fame. Everybody would just be doing the music. Just like how in certain industries, you don't have a lot of famous professionals. You don't have a lot of famous accountants. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not like opening a history book to like, who's the greatest accountant of all time? I mean, I don't know. There might be someone that figured out algebra a long time ago, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas in music, I guess there's only room for a few. And maybe that's what makes it so glamorous, but that is not glamour. You know, that's not glamorous. People struggling to pay them bills is not glamorous when they have to show up and pretend to be something else. That's not glamorous. So I think that's probably the part I don't like the most about it. Is that not everybody can be in it.
Yeah, true. What do you think is the future now? Like with all this, you know, the world has changed definitely.
Mm-hmm. The future?
Yeah, what do you think?
I mean, I think
as an artist, no?
As an artist, I think for sure we have to content, I would say. Meaning telling more stories in different ways. If that makes sense, you know, in other words, not necessarily about trying to go bigger and go harder with money or nothing and spending money on things or whatever, but I know for me and some of the plans I have in place is just about how you're telling your story. You know what I mean? Because one thing I feel like happening to people right now online, especially because this thing has been like 6 months at least, people getting tired, they're getting weary, they're getting like tired of the same thing over and over. You know, like when it first started, I think we were all like on the internet and you're thinking, okay, this is just gonna be a couple months, but no, people are like backside. So it's like a stay, right? So I think now everybody's energy is a little bit low.
Yeah.
And they're like, so I know for me as an artist, I know but I want to create just little pockets of content and experiences that can touch people in different ways, not just, yo, me an artist, yo, don't know my song. No. It's like, I just want to connect with people on a different level.
I see. Because,
you know, like, I mean, content is king in other industries, but now in music, I think it's becoming more and more important. Because, yeah, if there's restrictions on traveling and all this kind of stuff, or maybe ticket sales may go down, I don't know. But we just have to figure out how to continue to connect with people in a way that is not just asking them for the song, not just asking them for buy a song or watch a video or comment and like it or whatever, but just connecting with them to say, hey, this is part of my story too.
Indeed.
And it's mainly because I think people are just sitting down at home like, okay, we're really here for a while, right?
Yeah. I have one question, right? I wanted to ask you, how did you know about Mighty CROWN?
Oh my God. I know about Mighty CROWN as long as I know. You know, say, I don't know where I would have first of all, when you messaged me, I was like, this is so cool. Like, obviously I know about Mighty CROWN from long time. I would have said maybe I first discovered Mighty Crown, like maybe watching like Hype TV or RATV or something like that.
Okay.
Would have been one of them things.
See.
Because same way how you know about like Junko, you see me?
Yeah.
I don't know how I know about Junko, but I know who Junko is.
Okay.
I can't say when I knew, but I knew about Mighty Crown because of Sound Clash culture. You know who Mighty Crown is. You know who Tony Matterhorn is. You know who you know who Firelinks is. You know. Okay. Whatever is, I don't know. I can't ever say how, but I know who you guys are. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then I mean, I've always been aware of. So, for example, you know, because my parents used to travel to Japan a lot for music and Sunsplash and stuff like that. I knew about just Japanese reggae culture from them times. You know, some of the first Japanese foods I tasted was because they brought it back. You know, like nori paper. Like I used to just like ask them to bring that back for me, and I used to put in a toaster and eat it. And I used to eat this. Oh my God, it's so good. Like a little dried squid. It's like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It's a snack.
Oh my God.
It's like a snack.
I love it. Oh my God, I love that snack. There's bubble gum them used to bring back named like black ice or black like a black bubble gum. You know it?
Is it like a Coca-Cola taste?
No, it burn your mouth. It's like.
Oh, yeah. It basically like when you get sleepy, they open up your mouth.
Right. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
So but in terms of Mighty Crown, I would have to say just understanding the Sound Clash culture, I knew who Mighty Crown was. You see me? Like
you've been in Sound Clash?
Me? No, not yet.
Not really.
Before some don't play it. But meaning like just watching it just on the internet or on TV or whatever, it's like you know about there's like some of your top sounds, and Mighty Crown was always one of them. You know. So from I know any kind of Jamaican music and dancehall culture, I already know who Mighty Crown was. So
you've never been into actual Sound Clash yourself physically?
Oh, you mean what do you mean? Attend a Sound Clash?
Yeah, attend a Sound Clash. Do you remember one of your first Sound Clash that you attend? Or?
No, I mean,
you probably was like you were like still a child, and then Sound Clash did go on, but you never really
realized it was Sound Clash.
Realized what was going on. So I guess you.
Yeah, that's a good question. I wouldn't be able to know. To say when was my first Sound Clash. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for your time. One last question. What's next for you?
Can't tell you right now. But what I will say is that my current single that is out, you know, say a lot of like the tags I've been getting have been coming from Japan.
Yeah?
A lot of the girls doing TikTok dances and stuff named Climbing. The song is named Climbing.
Yeah, man.
A lot of Japanese girls.
The dance of them.
Yeah. I'll get posted tomorrow because I have a few videos that I saw and I was like, I need to post this and I need to learn it. You know them look.
Yeah.
It's not really my thing still, but I need to try at least. I need to learn. But yeah.
One last message to your fans then.
I mean, I would say, well, I guess it sounds like you're asking me what I would say to them about me, but what I would just say to anyone that is a supporter of my music is, first of all, thank you very much. You know, the last 2.5 years have gone by so fast, and I feel so honored that I could start this journey, you know, shaping my own path, and people would be receptive to that, right? And not always be comparing me. I don't really feel like people right now compare me to my mother or, you know, nothing like that. And that's really dope that I would be received and accepted into the space and appreciated as well for my talent, my, you know, everything I bring to the table as who I am. So I definitely give thanks for that. I would also just encourage anybody watching as well to constantly fight to stay positive in this time, because every other day is so hard. Like for me, even every other day you kind of start feel down and you have to lift up again. So if you are going through that, know that you're not alone in this journey as well, because the whole world, I think, is feeling so many different things at one time because of not just Corona, but there's all these other crazy things happening. Every other minute something pop up in society, and you know, the explosion in Lebanon, mad, crazy, you know. So I would just encourage anybody, all of my fans, I don't really like to use that word, but just to stay positive and don't lose hope. And then thirdly, I would say be patient with me, please. I'm working a lot right now. I'm working my ass off right now, to be quite honest. And it is all going to be very much worth it. So I just hope I still have your support, still have your love, you know, when that time comes. If I lose you as a fan, you know what, it's fine too, because that means maybe you weren't a fan to begin with. But yeah, loving all the same.
Okay. Well, thanks for your time.
Sami, thank you.
Thank you. Today we had Naomi Cowan. You know, you can check her on her Instagram and all that kind of stuff. I think your Instagram is at Naomi
Cowan. Yes. Naomi-san.
Naomi-san. どうもありがとう。Naomiさんでした。Thank you.
Thank you. Enough love.